St. Joe City. Thank you. The special meeting of the St. Joe City Planning Commission for January 29th, 2026. We're joined by Ms. Rice, Mr. Miller, Ms. Burzak, Mr. Smith, Mr. Ebert, myself, Ms. Herzl. We know, as a brief recap, you know that we gathered in January. We mightily tried, but we, in a rare, and it is rare occurrence, we did not have a quorum. And so the city graciously, and to staff, thank you, made the offer to do a special meeting to accommodate our applicants. We had one public hearing scheduled for that day that could not go forward. So in working with the city and the applicants, they arrived at this date. I'm pleased to say we have more than enough for a quorum, and we were happy to accommodate our applicants. It doesn't happen very often, but we like to try and make it right even before next week's regular meeting. Couple things. The agenda that was done, Kelly obviously saved a couple of trees and a little time on her part. Just reiterated the agenda from the January meeting. We are not required to do that necessarily. My suggestion would be that we focus only on the citizen issue that's before us today, and approval of the December minutes we do at the February meeting, which is next week. Everybody, we're back on a regular schedule. If that's acceptable to fellow commissioners, kind of shorten up today and put the focus on the applicant that we're here for. So if that's okay with everybody, that's my plan. One thing that I wanted to address publicly, and I don't know, we have some citizens here. Welcome. We may have some folks zooming in, I'm not sure. There has been an ongoing issue problem in the city, in the community, of people who are doing business with the city or applying for certain things, getting letters or additional letters, asking for more money for application fees and things of that nature, even when they've already paid what they were told to pay, and now they're at, we believe this is nefarious, not to mention illegal. The city is not doing that. I only know about it because one of them apparently went out with my name on it sometime last fall. Believe me, I have never asked for it, nor do I want any money from anybody. So the suggestion, I think, not just from law enforcement, from city, should any of you spread the word, if you get something like that, that appears to be, I've already paid this, why are they asking for something else? Call City Hall immediately first, tell them about it, make sure, don't just send checks out or money to people. There is an ongoing, I'm told there's an investigation looking into this from law enforcement. We hope we corral this, but I just, every chance we get publicly to get the word out to our citizens, call first and check. All right, with that, the primary, if not only matter on our agenda, is a public hearing regarding property located at 559 Chapin Boulevard. I'd like to open the public hearing on that, and our applicant is here, or someone to speak for the applicant. If you would come on up. We have had, as you know, a little extra time to review your packet, so, and your application, which we have done. So please, if you'd come up and tell us who you are and what you're asking from us today, sir.
I know we had this PowerPoint that was up last time. I don't know if you need to look at that. It was at the back of the
Right.
packet, so that's basically what I'm going to go through. But first of all, I appreciate you rescheduling this way. And I know it was because my wife was going to have surgery scheduled next week. Well, they rescheduled it on her.
Oh.
And it was yesterday.
Oh.
So he's at home
No.
recovering. So everything went
Well,
fine.
we hope everything went well. Give her,
went fine,
give her our
so
best.
that's all good. And I, by the way, you mentioned the letter or email. I got another one of those.
Asking for more money?
Yes.
Okay, did you've notified?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
going
okay.
to send it on the guy.
Get the word out. We'll get them, whoever it is, we'll get them. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go just basically make the points on that PowerPoint that I have at the end there. But I'm Mark Merrick, my wife Eva. We've lived in Bridgman for the past 29 years. I've worked at LECO as a chemist. She's worked as a dental assistant. She still works at Southwest Michigan Endodontics. And we have one son that lives here in St. Joseph with his wife and newborn baby from November. And a couple of my two other sons live in Milwaukee. And so That's close enough that we can both visit each way. What we're, that, request is, there's four things that we're requesting. One is the lot coverage. Just because of the shape of the lot and so forth. But I'll get into that more. This is just a summary here. And then we're requesting an increase in the HOA's square foot limits that they had in there. The lots have different square foot limits, so that we're requesting there. And then there's a front setback of 10 feet that we're requesting that's the same as what the lot across the street is, but for some reason on the HOA plan, it's got what I would say is a mistake, but it says 12 feet. And then there's the rear setback that the HOA has, which is 34 feet, and we're requesting 32 feet. Now, all these requests feel that they're within the easement setbacks, and the HOA has given us a letter of approval for these changes, and so that's what we're asking. But more specifically, on the lot coverage, the lots are, I guess, smaller maybe than what typical is. And in addition, the neighbors across the street, the lot's essentially the same lot, and they had made this request a couple of years ago, and they had that approval. So we're just basically asking for the same thing for that increase from 35% to 40%. The second thing, the square feet, there's some of the lots in the neighborhood had a limit of 2,800, some were less. And in particular, ours was 2,200. And really, we're requesting the same 2,800 square feet, but in fact, what we'll end up with is probably closer to 2,600, 2,650 or so. I do make a note in there that whether they're framed walls or these ICFs, the insulated concrete forms, and the builder is pricing both ways, and it looks like that the ICFs aren't going to be that much more, and that's probably the way we. I'd glad to ask any questions you have on why we're doing that and so forth. That I don't know, that's relevant here. The third one, as far as the easement in front of being 10 feet, but on the PUD site plan, there's it's marked 12 feet, but then there's a spot where it says 22 feet and 12 feet, and the difference being only 10 feet. So the numbers don't add up for one. And then across the street, they had the same, they used 10 feet. So there's some confusion there maybe as to what it is. But as far as the city and the 10-foot easement or whatever's in the across the street, that's what they have, and that's what we're
You're talking about setback, not easement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that easement's a term of art, so you probably want to use setback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
it
you.
shows the easement. Thank you for correcting that. It does show on the survey, you know, the 10-foot easement, and then the HOA had that setback that. And the last thing, which is on the rear, the HOA has 34 feet, which I don't know if that's, you know, just typical or what the expectation is there, but the footprint that we have, it is 32 feet setback there in the back to the garage, to the road area. And again, all of these things, you know, were given to the HOA board, and we have a letter of approval that they're okay with those changes that we have. So that's what I have. If you have questions, I'll be glad to try to answer.
All right, well, we have our applicant at the podium. Do any commissioners have a question for our applicant? Thank you. Give you a rest and sit down. If we need you, we'll bring you back up, but right now, we'll see. All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak about this application? Right? Close the public hearing then. Discussion. I just have one question. I'm not sure, Kelly or Trudy, who this is for. jump in. In our materials and the memo from staff, there was a question about storm runoff. And I highlighted because it's the only place in any of these materials, there's been no concerns and will get updated by the city or by staff. But it says the planning commission may apply this as a condition of approval. It's subparagraph J, well, it's on page 16 of the original packet under comments. And I guess I wanted just I highlighted that is that something we need to do, or can that be done internally through permitting or?
It could be done internally. Typically, when we perform reviews, if we catch something that we may not be necessarily expert upon, but that it may be something in some situations that could potentially cause an issue. I think in this one, I thought about potential runoff towards the neighboring home.
Right.
I'm sure that they are going to be excavating this so it's nice and level on the property. However, typically what we do is suggest that that could be applied to the PUD approval as a condition of approval, if that's something that the planning commission is inclined to do for something like that. And that would then allow staff to basically seek out the proper departments and to get permitting requirements for that.
That wouldn't be done without that as a condition?
I'm sure, yes. Engineering has already looked at this. So, and they didn't have any concerns
Oh,
with it.
okay. All right.
But it was when I performed my review, that's just something that I
All
flagged.
right.
So it's just those types of things.
But
yes,
subsequent to that, engineering has looked at that and it's not a concern that would rise to the level where we need to.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
that's, I just wanted that clarification. Thank you. All right, other discussion. Oh, I guess I should update. Has there been any change, any additional input from any city department, law enforcement, and all our regulars engineering since we were tried to gather in January through today that needs to be brought, or citizen input by writing or email, or any concerns by anybody? Then planning commissioners for discussion. Ms. Bursack.
So this isn't really pertinent to your lot. The lot across the street a few years ago, when we approved it, we even inquired, should we approve the one across the street too? But since the submittal was only for that lot, we were told that we couldn't do that. So I don't have any issue whatsoever with what you're presenting today. A comment I have, and it's not even for you, is that since so much detail was included, I did read through all the previous, and the Chapin Hall building that was there, on packet page 37, it talks about, the explanation of the park space and different things of that nature, and how, bricks that were saved from that building would be used in that park. And when I look at that park and run by it, it's really not apparent that it's a park. It just looks like a vacant lot waiting to be developed with a house. And it would be wonderful, the wolf and the child statue that we're also fond of, was put in storage. It would be wonderful if someone could look into, actually developing what they stated they would do with that park. Because when you go and ask for a PUD and you make, statements that you're going to do this and that, then technically you're really bound to do those things. And I would love to see, not in terms of a big park there, but, a passive seating area with just maybe the mention of the sculpture was included in there, and something of that nature to be included in that lot. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you though to come up just so we can all hear you, and for the minutes, it helps as well. Thank you. Tell us who you are and what you'd like us to know.
My name's Kathy Christensen. I'm at 553 Chapin Boulevard. I'm the HOA president. So I take that into account what you said. We have no idea about any of this as an HOA. So we would need to maybe collaborate with you is all I wanted to say. If you want to take my information as the HOA president.
I think it's just a matter of if there was a PUD approval and it was included, that would be part of it. That's
Sure, but
following
nobody
up
has
on-
approached us, and
Yeah.
that we don't have the funds to do that. So that would be a city initiative, in my opinion.
Actually,
I think it's a little more complicated than that, if I can interject.
Yeah, yeah, counsel, if you would,
Yeah,
please.
there's some legalities that never got formally completed. When this was originally approved, there was a desire by the commission, city commission at that time, that that lot be preserved for a public park rather than developed as another lot.
okay,
There's never been a formal deed conveyed from that
Correct.
okay.
property to the city. The city has not accepted it formally. So there are some other loose ends, I guess I would say,
Okay.
that need to be tied up.
Right.
So that's something that really isn't.
Yeah, according to the county site, no, it's kind of a gray area who owns it and all that kind of
Okay.
stuff. We've already researched that in the past.
I guess I read it differently, that I thought that it was part of the PUD approval that they would provide
No,
a small,
I think
but
some
maybe
of,
I,
some of these, if you remember, there were several additional requirements. I might argue restrictions, which is why we're here today, but I digress, standing up for the planning commission, that were imposed on this Chapin development at the city commission level. It were not in the original PUD as we approved it from
Okay.
here.
Right. There-
The
Yeah, sorry.
lot coverage as one, I believe, got changed, and square footage on the buildings. I mean, there were some changes. I don't remember all of them. And I think the page you're referencing, be mindful those are city commission
it
minutes,
is.
not planning
Yes.
commission minutes. And that might be part of this. I don't have an actual recollection whether the reference to possibly making that small lot of park was at our level or not. I honestly don't remember.
Right.
I believe that was at city commission level.
I think
there-
so,
It was,
too.
it's in there as city commission
Mhm.
notes.
Smallest park in the history of.
But there are some items that need to be further
Mhm.
addressed.
Okay, yeah, because that was the only thing, that I was thinking, is that it would be really lovely if there could be some
Mhm.
way to acknowledge that that was, that building
Mm.
and what it represented, even
Sure.
just if the sculpture was still around, but
I don't know where it is if you don't.
it wasn't at Public Works.
So I can leave my contact info or you can, either way.
It's just a comment I made, that I noticed that it wasn't, that it was requested, but it didn't happen. So if there's a lot more legality to it.
If you'd like to leave your contact information.
Well,
With who should I leave?
just leave it with staff, with council, and she'll
Um,
get
yeah,
it where it
yeah,
needs to
just
be.
just to say, I've only been in this subdivision since 2021, so all this I only read as well.
That's fine.
And I know that is an open park, open space to promote, for the density, so the density is at a desirable level, and which supports their request, because the density will include an open area, and we have a double lot. So it's open, but the HOA is certainly amenable to developing that. We don't have the funds to do that, so I would imagine that's, the city cost to develop it. So the city owns it in essence, but I know at one point the city wasn't sure, the mowing came into play and it had to be reviewed, that the mowing had to start again on the city because they didn't mow it. Then they tried to put a stake in it, that it wasn't mowed, but it's the city's responsibility to mow that. So it is the city's lot.
It's a city lot, council?
Not-
in
there's
theory.
There's some.
Okay.
It's not, I
In
think what we're trying to
theory.
say that's not entirely.
not
Yeah,
for
right.
sure.
That's, so there's some things to work out, but I'll leave my name, if we're certainly amenable to working with the city, in the future to develop that. As far as HOA is concerned, the city is responsible for that lot. So it's
Thank
kind of
you.
whatever you want to do with it. That's all I wanted to say. So-
Convenience store? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the update and the input. Other thoughts or comments from commissioners? Ms. Miller?
Just a question, did this application require notice within a certain distance, mailed notice?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Just my impression of the application, what I don't like about it is mostly the front setback being so small. I don't like how much lot coverage it requires. What I do like about the application is that it has the support of the HOA so that the surrounding neighbors are aware of what it is and that they approve and they like what they see. I like that it's not a house that's taking up to 35 feet. So it's not such an imposing building. I like that to the, I'll call it to the west, that the building that is being used by the United Way would kind of face this property, so it's not going to face another residential property. I like the appearance of the application. It's a very attractive structure. And I like that it's harmonious with the neighborhood.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Anybody else?
Yeah, for me, it's essentially the same thing that got approved across the street, so
Stole my thunder once again. I was going to say.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
It's identical to that which we approved across the street, out of the same circumstances and necessity, just flipped. It's the same ravine-esque, it's woodland, whatever we call that hill up. So all of that topography and geography is the same, so it seems to me that it is, I haven't seen anything that demonstrates this application being demonstrably different from that which we entertained before for your neighbors. So I tend to agree with Mr. Ebert on that. Yes, Ms. Burzak.
So, certainly the radius around it is adequate to provide, proper turning movements. I went over there and looked long before we had all the snow. And the neighbor's parcel, they did a little bit of a landscape stone type of thing to kind of define that turning driveway that I thought was really nice, especially on a day like now when you're not sure where the road is. So, you can certainly do whatever you want, but I think they had a nice idea to keep the cars off their property and onto the turning in the proper movement. And, I think that when you have a smaller lot with less of a setback is something you might want to consider. You certainly don't have to, but I thought that they did a really nice job of making it very clear where the cars belong and where their lot is. So, just thought that was something to, mention.
Thank you, Ms. Burzak.
I have one question.
Ms. Miller.
A question for staff. If this was approved, would it be the Fourth Amendment? Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, then what is your pleasure? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Miller,
I move to recommend approval of the requested Fourth Amendment to the 2000 South State Street condominium development for the property known as 559 Chapin Boulevard to the City Commission based on the application and the supplemental information prepared by the applicant and included in the January 7th, 2026 Planning Commission agenda packet, based on the draft findings as the request meets the required standards under section 12.6.1 and 13.6.1 of the zoning ordinance.
all right, thank you, Mr. Miller. I have a motion, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have support for this motion? Ms. Rice supports the motion. Do I have further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the clerk may call the roll. The clerk may call the roll. I'm sorry, Brett. Clerk may call the roll.
Yeah, Chair Herzl,
Yes.
Mr. Ebert,
Yes.
Ms. Burzak,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Ray.
Yes.
And then Mr. Smith.
Yes.
All right, best guesstimate, ladies and gentlemen, to our applicant and when this will find its way to the city commission. Do we know when that might be? We're just a recommending body. You have to get final approval from the city commission, but do we know when that might be?
It won't be the Monday, it's not February 23rd.
Okay.
My
Stay in touch with the city. Staff will keep you guided on that. We just always like to remind people it's not over today. You still have to appear with the city commission. They'll keep you posted on when you're on the agenda and stay in touch with them. So, all right. We informally then kind of agreed that whatever else we need to do, the December minutes, we'll do at next week's meeting. However, we always welcome public comment on any topic. If anyone is here that wishes to address the planning commission, we welcome that. I guess just from Kelly, from you, what are we looking at? The packets, I don't think have gone out for next week yet, but they've anticipated. What do we have for next week besides 2 sets of probably minutes to approve?
Yeah.
Do we have other citizen business?
I'm gonna let Brad Brad, for those of you that don't know, I'm sorry, Brad's our interim zoning administrator. He is filling in for Chris, when Kristen left, has been filling in for us, so, I keep deferring to him, that's why.
Okay, that's fine.
So we're queuing up a site plan review down on Hilltop Road and also a draft zoning ordinance text amendment.
Okay, the site plan review, what,
Correct.
It's a special use.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a coffee. It's a special use. And they've submitted a site plan with it for years.
well, yeah, but it's actually a special use
Yeah, it's a
request
special use because it's a coffee house with a drive-through.
for the
Is
drive-through,
the
okay.
special use.
Oh, that
Correct.
packet arrived to us
That-
tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And that, so that is,
Already gave her my stuff.
that is officially on the agenda, that's one, and the other one is which amendment, which ordinance amendment are you asking us, what will we be looking at next week?
Definitions and
The
it's
yard.
for the yards, the yard definition discussion that was going on a few months back.
And even though we had some dissemination of that, all of that will be in the packet. What you actually want us to talk about next week will be in the packet that we get this week. Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to double check. All right, anything else for staff, ladies and gentlemen?
Just a reminder that the maps with that yard discussion there was a lot of confusion regarding how those prepared. If those are ready, I think it'll save us a lot of time. Thank you.
We've been working on that, trying to simplify it. It's gonna look different, quite different from what you saw before. So we're hopeful, and I think Brad brings a new set of eyes, and he's very familiar with other ordinances across the state.
I even created a little presentation to show you exactly how we're-
Excellent.
Refreshments involved in that, Brad, or?
Yeah,
Thought I'd ask.
it's not a long one.
It's
Um,
surprising sometimes how hard it is to make something look simple. but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something, so it must be true because it was on Facebook. I'll stick my toe in the water here. I believe did the city announce some public public gatherings regarding information gathering regarding the paid parking? Did I see that accurately? Has that gone out?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be me.
Oh, okay. Well, either sit at the same table or I feel like I'm at a tennis match. Yes, over to this side.
Yes.
Do you have those dates? Can we put that
Yes,
on the
so I
record
just
here?
went on my calendar, give me 1 second. Next Tuesday is from 5, excuse me, 5 to 7. And Wednesday is 2 to 4. We're kind of gearing those towards downtown businesses to come speak. The following week, gosh, my computer froze.
It's the 5th and
I think
7th.
it's Monday and Tuesday, 5 to 7 for residents and other concerned parties. We're gonna have different stations set up here in the chambers with some maps. And this is all a proposed plan. That's what I'd like to keep reiterating. This is a draft plan. This has not gone to commission. Commission hasn't seen it. We want to get feedback, and, feelings for and against before we do a final plan, if we take a plan.
Is it like a formal thing or a
very-
open house type walk-in
Very
thing?
informal open house. There'll be members from the city, the DDA, and the parking subgroup, all here to answer questions.
And will there be an opportunity, if so, how, if somebody comes to do that, to leave comment, written comment, you'll have
I am gonna have.
cut down a
comments.
tree and have some paper here so
Absolutely.
folks can write ideas and suggestions and that kind of thing?
Yep, we did that just in case somebody doesn't want to speak out publicly for or against, if they just want to put their thoughts down on paper, no names, It's very informal, but we just want to have as much engagement as we can.
Okay, well, I wanted to reemphasize that for anybody that was here, that's upcoming and I know it's a slight topic of interest. Yes,
Kelly, so open house, it's not like, hey, you gotta be here right at 2 and you gotta stay till
Correct.
4. It's just come at your leisure, do the
Exactly.
stations and bail. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
No
Sorry,
speeches
I'm pulling up
for-
my calendar on my phone since my laptop. froze.
Are you having it in the paper or how are you giving notice?
I saw it in the
I saw it in
paper.
the paper as well.
I saw it on Facebook.
Oh,
It's been on Facebook, it's on the city website, Gila did a press release, it's been in the news.
It was in the paper either yesterday or the day before.
okay, so yesterday I didn't read the paper, that's why I didn't know about it.
Kelly, are you doing a formal presentation as, and this is what the proposal is? Give us your feedback or?
No, the parking, The plan, the proposed plan will be up on the big screen, so people can look at it, digest it, and then we'll have different stations with more in-depth information, and we did separate stations, all be the same stations. Just, I don't know how many people to expect. We could have 5 people, we could have 55 people, we could have 100, I don't know. That way things are spread out a little bit, so, people can have a little bit more one-on-one conversation. So we're not planning on doing a formal presentation.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good because to your point, if it's 2 and there's gonna be something I need,
Yeah,
do I have to be there? Or can I come in? You can walk in anytime.
Like the stations where you have a printout that people could put stickies on of the comments, the things they like and don't like.
There will also be a one-seater to take home that goes really in the weeds,
Okay,
so.
and you think it's 5 to 7 the week
It
after
is.
for,
February 3rd, 2 to 4, February 10th, 5 to.
5 to 7?
My laptop shows up. Monday, February 9th. Yeah, the 9th and 10th are 5 to 7. February 3rd is 2 to 4. February 4th, no, I'm sorry, February 3rd is 5 to 7. February 4th is 2 to 4. Sorry.
That's right.
If anybody wants that information, I will tell you. in a
So it's,
concise way.
okay, so they're all next week, 5 to 7?
No.
No.
2 next week and 2 the week after.
Okay,
Next week is for the businesses mostly.
Primarily focused on the business
Yeah,
community.
it's on
I'll look at the
website,
website, yeah. Okay.
Other issues from commissioners that they want to ask about or find out from staff while we have everybody here on this very special meeting day? Or anything from staff that we should be looking ahead to or know about? All right, other than that, then ladies and gentlemen, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to
I'll make a
adjourn?
motion.
Thank you, Ms. Burzak. Do I have support for her motion? Seriously?
Support.
No support.
Thank you, Ms. Rice.
Hang out here.
Nobody wants to get home in daylight? I have support from Ms. Rice. Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you for making the time for this special